Hello. At the end of our first program, I said we might be back with more, and here we are delving back into my memories of the past 30 years. And I make no excuse for starting again with Henry Cooper, particularly with this fight in 1959 against his closest rival, the late and very talented Joe Erskine from Wales. Henry was 25, and a few months earlier, he'd at last won the British heavyweight title. In this first defence at the huge Earl's Court in London, Henry is about to face one of the most bitter and controversial fights he ever had.
And the pressmen settle down now for this battle, which they say is going to be a really close one. Out they come for the first round. Erskine looking briskly confident at the start. See the Joe written on the leg of his trunks. Erskine always considered to be the better boxer. They've met twice before professionally, and Erskine has won on points both times. Erskine slips over in the first round. Oh, a left hook cracks him on the chin. He's up at 3, Erskine. Cooper goes in to finish it if he can in this opening round. Erskine down again. Straight up and in trouble. He's badly dazed, Erskine. He's trying to get to close quarters. Hang on, get a breather, get a respite. Cooper wants to punch in that left hook as hard as he can go now. It's the first round. Erskine still resting, trying to get his wits back. Cooper's not going in as he should. Over comes a right hand, chopped over by Erskine on Cooper's face. Cooper's had a big chance here to finish it in the first round, but it looks as though Erskine's getting off the hook. And in fact, he's damaged Cooper's left eye. Cooper's left eye is cut. What a start to this fight. All in the first round. Erskine down twice and Cooper's eye cut. Cooper's seconds have managed to patch that eye, and Cooper looks a lot more confident now in the fifth. You get the impression now in this fifth round that Cooper is just biding his time, waiting to put in a really hard, cracking punch. He knows that Erskine can't really hurt him. And we're coming up now to the end of the fifth round, the round in which Cooper throws the controversial late punch. Watch for it. There's the first right. And now the bell. And there's the left hook after the bell. And Erskine is badly hurt by that. And Benny Jacobs, Erskine's manager, dashes over to the referee, Eugene Henderson, and complains about it. An official escorts Jacobs away. Great comeback by Joe Erskine. Round 9. And Cooper's left eye now is beginning to look much worse indeed, because now it's swelling up badly, and there seems to be a cut underneath it as well as over it. Erskine seems to be pinning his hopes on that Cooper eye. Cooper really does seem to have slowed down. Erskine much faster. Now the Welsh supporters of Erskine are beginning to cheer for him. Coming up now to the end of the ninth, and this one has clearly been Joe Erskine's. The 11th. How badly hurt is Erskine? How much steam has Cooper taken out of him with those left hooks? Oh, one on the back of the neck. And another one on the back of the neck. And this time, referee Henderson pulls up Erskine and cautions him about the rabbit punching. That has really angered Cooper. Comes lashing back. Erskine now with his back to us. Coming up towards the end of the 11th. Cooper getting through more and more. There's another one into the body and another. They're all going in. One after the other. Left hook. The end of the 11th. What a great fight this is. Cooper getting his eye patched up once more. Out he comes. It's the 12th. Erskine doesn't seem to know how to block these punches from Cooper. They're all going home now. They're all going in. Cooper absolutely bang on top in the 12th. He's got him. Erskine down in round 12. Cooper's a killer when he's got his man going. We're coming up to the end of the 12th. Can Erskine survive it? It doesn't look like it. Right out over the bottom rope.
Poor old Joe. It still hurts to see him arched over that bottom rope. And what protests there were from his manager, Benny Jacobs, particularly about that late punch of Henry's at the end of the 5th. It all came to nothing, of course. They met twice more, and Henry stopped Joe both times. It's always exciting to see a young fighter climbing his way into the big time. In 1973, John Conte was still only 21, with fewer than 20 professional fights behind him. He was given the chance to fight for the European Light Heavyweight Championship against Rudi Schmidtke of West Germany. Schmidtke was world ranked, and he'd taken the title from Chris Finnegan, the British champion. Could young Conte succeed where the experienced Finnegan had failed? This March night at Wembley would provide the answer.
Second down. What a chance here for the dark-skinned John Conte, if only he can take it, fighting for the European title against Rudi Schmidtke of Germany, even before he's fought for the British title, and only 17 months after his first pro fight. John Conte from Liverpool against Rudi Schmidtke of West Germany, who took this title from Chris Finnegan in this ring in November, when he stopped Finnegan in 12 rounds, splitting Finnegan's nose. The German's shown himself to be a crafty boxer, not a big puncher, but an artful counter-puncher, particularly with the right hand. The right is the one Conte's going to have to watch for most of the time. Schmidtke is currently ranked on most lists the number 5 contender for the world title. Second down, round 3. The referee tonight is French, Monsieur Bernard Masco, and we have 2 judges sitting at the ringside who also score. Ben Brill from Holland and Robert Degain from Belgium. Well, we've already seen Chris Finnegan come through tonight in his fight with Roy John. And, of course, promoter Harry Levine here at Wembley has already said that if Conte were to win this, then the next logical match would be Conte against Finnegan, with Finnegan's British and Commonwealth titles up and Conte's European title at stake. Battle of left jabs at the moment. That's a good left hook from Conte. First really good punch of the fight. Schmidtke felt that. And Conte's hustling him into opening up a bit. That's a good right again from Conte. Good punch, that right hand. He's catching the crafty German with it. Not a bad round for Conte. Much in it, but Conte's probably stolen it. So very, very hopeful signs there in the way Conte was putting them together, but this young man might well be equal to the task, which is a very big one set before him. Second up, round 4. Of these 2 fighters, Schmidtke's been 15 rounds once in his life, but Conte never has. He's never fought for a title outside the amateurs. And although Conte's made a good start, there's no sign yet. This is developing dramatically one way or the other. It's still very open. see that mark there? You see that underneath the left eye of Schmicker? That's been put there by the right hand of Conte. And that might be trouble later. And that's something I don't remember Finnegan doing to Schmicker. I don't remember him really damaging Schmicker about the face, although Finnegan, at the time it was stopped with that nose injury, I thought was quite well ahead. He was outboxing Schmicker. That's a good right, and Schmicker almost went. And now this German knows he's got trouble. And we can expect to see him poking up that left now, moving back away from the right hand of Conte. He's got this man in real trouble now, I tell you. The fifth round, and Conte well on top. And this man's never been knocked down, but once or twice in this round, that record has looked like going. This man with the right whenever he likes. Schmicker forced to hold on for dear life. Coming up to the end of the fifth. This man's got to go in a minute. He's got him all over the shop. And Schmicker doesn't know where he is. Seconds left of the fifth. And he won't have time to finish it in this one. There's the bell. Oh, what trouble Schmicker was in there. So Conte now well on the way to victory for this European title.
Round 6.
Well, Conte's set him up. He's set him up for the victory. Now can he claim it? Great daub of grease now over the swelling underneath Schmicker's left eye. Is absolutely explosive. This German now looking as though he's coming apart at the seams. And his European crown slipping sideways. He's gone, he's down for the first time in his life. Conte, the man to put him there, and he shakes his head. Schmicker. And his legs have gone as well. Compulsory 8 count. And here's Conte's chance. He's got him down the second time. Right hand again. Compulsory 8 count under European rules. Bernard Masco counting over in 2 counts. Round 6. And that might be the finish. They're telling him to stay down in the corner, take as long a rest as possible. Only seconds to go. About 7 seconds of this round left. There's the bell, he's saved. Saved by the bell, there's no doubt about that. Once more would have done it. So Schmicker in absolutely terrible trouble there. And here he is now in the 9th, still there. And still looking defensively very awkward. Something's been lost here at Wembley, and I can tell you what it is. It's the right hand of Conte. He's reserving that right hand so much now that you have to begin to ask yourself whether perhaps he might have hurt it in that tremendous onslaught against Schmicker in the 6th. He's saving it all the time now. Oh, there it was. He didn't save it that time, but it didn't seem to have quite the same devastating effect. So we enter the last third of this championship battle between Conte of England and Schmicker of Germany. And I've got Conte well ahead on my scorecard at this stage. But The man in front of him, Schmicker, the champion, still proving quite a handful. But Schmicker's face now showing the marks of battle. Around both eyes, grease liberally smeared all over his face. And little specks of blood appearing here and there, all over his face. Really severe, these jabs. And it speaks wonders for the strength of Schmicker that he can stand up under them. So Conte looks to me to be very well on the way to victory here.
Round 12.
Conte immediately goes back to work with the jab. But you'll notice it is the jab mostly now, not that right hand, and I'm still intrigued as to why he's saved the right so much. He's got him going again. Chopped him with one and warned about it. And this might be the big final attack if Conte can keep it going. 12th. And really now, Schmicker's face is so marked and so battered about it, looks more like a mask than a face. Taking a real pasting and a hammering now from Conte, who's got the European title once more at his fingertips. And Schmicker surely can't have a lot left. A minute of this round left. And the German's going again. Doesn't know where he is. Trapped on the ropes. And it's stopped, I think. No, it's a count. It's a standing count. Compulsory 8 count as he stands supported by the ropes. And it stops. He considers that Schmicker's in no state to continue.
Yeah, that Conte got the Schmicker kicks out of him, didn't he? Huh.
Now, one of the most exciting divisions in Britain in the 1970s was welterweight. That's 10.5 stone. Britain hadn't had a world champion at this weight since the great Ted Kid Lewis in 1919. But in 1975, John H. Stracey, a Cockney kid from Bethnal Green, beat the formidable Jose Naples in a Mexican bull ring. But the following year, he lost the title to Carlos Palomino of the United States. Stracey now had one last chance to stay on the world scene. Coming up behind him was Britain's latest welterweight sensation, the aggressive Dave Boyd Green from Chatteris in Cambridgeshire, who'd won all his professional fights. And in March '77 came the clash between them.
There are nights when Stracey brings Wembley alive, and this is one of them. This place is solidly on Stracey's side. Green's got his supporters, but they're outnumbered here. And Stracey starts as the odds-on favourite. And these early moments will probably be the moments when Stracey will really be in peril. And Green does precisely what was expected of him. He wades straight into Stracey and he catches him. And these will be the moments when Green is punching at his hardest. And Stracey, at all costs, has got to get through these opening minutes. The Fen Tiger clawing at his man in the opening minute. Punches up, says Harry Gibbs. And Green goes straight back with another body punch. Stracey can't keep him away, and the heads have cracked, and Stracey's in trouble. And we're only just over a minute into the fight. The fight of the year could turn out to be the fight of the decade. Stracey blinking and wincing And the relentless young man from Cambridgeshire keeps coming at him. An overarm right, and Stracey looked for a moment as though he might buckle underneath it. And Wembley, a great seething cauldron of sound. Green's gone for the quick knockout, and it hasn't worked. And now Green's picking up the punches as Stracey comes back. Stracey steadies himself. Head again. Harry Gibbs says, keep it up. And the boos ring out for Green. Green wins the first round and they don't hear the bell. You won't see a better start to a fight than that. Stracey wants a knockout punch. My word, he wants it. Scheduled for 12 rounds, it'll never get there. The sheer ferocity of Green's attack has spent itself a little. Good right. Stracey takes it well. Stracey trying to box him off. The kid from Chatteris won't be boxed off. Stracey coming back into this a little more now in the third. Better round for Stracey. Begins to pick a few points up. And they literally snarl at each other as they go to their corners. And I mean snarl. Well, I don't know about that. Suddenly he finds a couple of right hands. And another one. Punches that Stracey should avoid, and there's nothing in his legs. Punches coming from way back that he wouldn't have been caught with a year ago. And he's not seeing them coming, and that might be because of the swelling over the left eye. Maybe he can't see that right hand coming at him. It's coming from way back, and he's getting caught with it. And it seems to go right down to his boots. This is not the Stracey of a year ago, not by a long chalk. Stracey still can't keep him away. Fight as hard as he will, he can't keep Green away. And Stracey's almost giving up. He can't take much more. 10 seconds to go, and he'll only just about get there. Gibbs is having a good look at him. He turns his head away. Stracey doesn't know what to do, and there's the bell, and that saved him, and his eye's giving him trouble. Another 20 seconds and that might have been all over. And these are desperate crisis moments for Stracey, and the crowd can sense it. It isn't as though they're very good punches that are catching Stracey. They're wild, flailing punches, but the ex-world champion is still getting caught with them. He turns that left eye away again. Tries to dredge the punches from the past to do away with this man. Green's laughing at him. Stracey said something to him and Green's laughing at him. And Green and Stracey are being told by Gibbs to calm it down. A one-eyed fighter against a man brimming over with ambition. Not quite the same strength in Green's punches as there was. In fact, there's very little in Green's punches at the moment. And if Stracey just gets a little confidence back, there's no telling what might happen even now. Stracey beginning to plant one or two good punches on him. Good left hook, and Stracey's suddenly gaining a bit of confidence. Getting his boxing together for about the first time in this fight. Never had a chance to. And the tables, fractionally, are being turned in the 7th round. But only for a moment. Stracey trapped and weak, swaying in the wind. The storm bursts about his ears again, and there's nothing he can do.
This would have been stopped
Nothing he can do
nowadays.
about it.
In this generation, this fight would have been stopped.
And he's glad to get away and get back to the seat. He broke that off as soon as he heard the bell. Disaster staring Stracey in the face once again. The 9th. Huge white smear of grease on Stracey's shut left eye. Can he respond? Stracey doesn't seem to be able to keep an attack going for very long. He has a few good punches, and then it ends again. Desperately tired, the pair of them. A mark underneath Green's right eye beginning to show itself. Green still coming forward, as much out of instinct as anything else. Almost fell over himself. Swung a punch, missed, and almost went down. That's how tired Green is. Now it's stamina. And Stracey's coming back at him, and he's turning the table slowly but surely on Green. Round 9. And Stracey yet might pull this out. I don't think the pair of them hardly know where they are. Tries to collect himself and think his way out of this. And that's the best sustained attack from either side for some time. Stracey blinks again, trying to focus, trying to find the man. If he can find a punch from somewhere, can he find the man to put it on? And Stracey's weakening yet again. And he turns away almost crying with desperation, it seems to me. So once again, the tide turns, this time in Green's favour again. And Stracey looks as though he's going, but he's looked like that before and come back. Round 10. The eye's giving him all sorts of trouble, and Green's giving him even more, and it's stopped, and Stracey's beaten. And Green has done it.
Less than 3 months later, Green came very close to winning the world title from Carlos Palomino. And later, of course, he tangled with Sugar Ray Leonard. But that fight with Stracey is one we shall always remember. Now, I never tire of telling people how Jim Watt started a whole new career as world lightweight champion just when his career seemed to be over. It's all part of the romance of boxing. Jim was 31 years old when he made his first defense of the world title in Glasgow in 1979 against Roberto Vasquez, a Mexican Texan, 10 years younger and consequently that much shorter on experience.
Watt, of course, southpaw, leads with his right. He has the maturity and the experience, and certainly by the looks of it, the confidence. He faces a man who was virtually unknown in the world until a few months ago, but who's won one big fight, which has brought him here tonight as the challenger. And from the look of his record, Vasquez most certainly can punch. But whether he has the depth of experience or the class to really worry Jim Watt is something we shall discover very shortly. And this crowd bursts into song in the opening seconds. Good left hand from Watt. The longer reach paid off. Rudy Ortega, Californian referee. Well, a quiet opening round apart from two quite nice scoring punches from Jim Watt. And 3 useful rounds behind him now for Watt, which will have helped him settle down. Again, Vasquez content to stay in the corner, his own corner. The reach again of Watt, telling. Vasquez has to take them. There's a speck of blood now coming from Vasquez's mouth. Watt's best round yet, by a long way. That's a really very good round for Jim. Rudy Ortega, US referee. He's the man actually who refereed John Conte against Mate Parlov in Yugoslavia last year. There are also two judges, of course, ringside scoring, both from Britain, Harry Gibbs and Wally Tom. They may not be needed. And you can almost see Vasquez's face. You can see the puzzlement written on it. And the thought, how am I going to get out of this constant stream of punches that are coming at me from this tall, frail, pale-looking southpaw Jim Watt, but whose strength absolutely belies his looks. Tries to find a way out of that corner. But he's still strong yet, Vasquez. Good left hands from Jim Watt. He really is giving Vasquez a working over in that corner. And Vasquez finds himself in the enemy corner and has to wend his weary way back to the other side of the ring. Jim Watt has been 15 rounds 3 times in his life. Vasquez, of course, never has. A mark coming up underneath the left eye of Vasquez. First mark. It's got skin like leather. Two and a half thousand people, all on Watt's side. But have to hand it to him, courageous, taken everything. And still there, presenting a danger. Oh, what a good left hand. Oh, he almost went. Tremendous bombing left hand for Watt. 8th round. And Watt has moved in to try to finish it. Everything pouring in. And Vasquez still stakes it, still takes it, and he won't go down. Watt has got an overwhelming lead. But the man is still there. The left hand beginning to go through, and he's almost at his end there. He let his arms drop and he almost turned away from Watt as though he'd had enough. But he's come up again to resist again. Whatever else we remember this fight for, we shall certainly remember it for the courage of Roberto Vasquez, who seems to me now to be in an impossible situation. He surely must go. Everything going into his head. How much is he going to be allowed to take? He's fighting back. Unbelievable courage. What a belting he's taking. Watt working on him just the way he works on the heavy bag in the gym. The man soaking it up like a punch bag. Surely the referee has seen enough. And he has, he's moved in and it's all over. Round 9, an overwhelming victory for Jim Watt. He never lost a round. He never even had to share one.
Jim made 3 more successful defences and won the MB. He ranks as one of Britain's finest world champions. Alan Minter was a rare champion too. In 1980, he went to America and won the world middleweight title there, an almost unheard of feat. The man he outpointed was an interesting character called Vito Antuofermo. He'd been born in Italy, emigrated to America, but he was still eligible to fight for European titles. In fact, Britain's Maurice Hope had beaten him for the European light middleweight title. But Antuofermo was nobody's pushover. Shortly before he met Minter, he'd drawn with Marvin Hagler, and he simply couldn't accept that Alan was the better man. So, in June 1980, they met again, this time in London, with Minter's world title at stake.
And the two can hardly wait to get at each other. Antuofermo comes storming in just the way he said he would. He said he was going to make it rough for Minter tonight. Minter in Las Vegas fought a carefully controlled fight, boxed his way carefully, picked up points all the way through, and kept out of trouble. The challenger and former champion Antuofermo is by nature a brawler. Minter's plan here will be to keep him on the end of that right hand. Beautiful left. What a good left from Minter. And Antuofermo was sent spinning back on his heels inside the first 2 minutes. The eyes of Antuofermo look so vulnerable. It's unbelievable. And that left hand has got him again. And there's blood on Antuofermo's face already, 2.5 minutes in. And he's cut above the right eye. Minter fighting with all the confidence and coolness of a champion. And he's bleeding very, very badly. It's beginning to look like an extremely serious cut, and he's cut the other side as well. Both eyes are now cut. Antuofermo. His face is being ripped to pieces by Minter. There's no way he'll get through this fight with eyes like that. Less than 2 rounds, and he's torn to bits. Two very bad cuts. And his face now the same colour as his shorts. And he can't escape these punches of Minter. Minter's just hitting him any way he likes. It's a most clinical and extraordinary performance by Minter. He's tearing the man apart. It's an absolute piece of butchery. So much noise they haven't heard the bell, and Antuofermo goes back for repairs that can hardly do any good at all. He's so badly cut. It's terrifying the way Minter slices those punches across the face of Antuofermo, worsening the damage. It's almost ridiculously easy for Minter. The only way Minter could get beaten now is if he got his head badly caught in the clinches and started to get cut himself, or if he got very careless indeed and stood for a sneak punch. Whole face seems to be disintegrating. Well, this is altogether a more overwhelming performance from Minter than he did in Las Vegas. He always had command of the fight there, but he didn't make such a dramatic start, tearing the man to bits. Comes at you like a bull. His ring hero was Jake LaMotta. I'm talking about Antuofermo. And Jake LaMotta was known as the Bull of the Bronx. And Antuofermo clearly models himself on that style. Minter showing signs he wants to get to work again. Eased off a little bit. Now clearly trying to step it up again. And the bleeding has started. Minter totally in command. He knows exactly what he's doing. Every move is planned. He's got the man in his sights all the time. Well, Antuofermo said after the last fight that he felt he'd been hard done by, that the scoring hadn't been true to form, and that he didn't agree with the decision, and that he was coming to London this time to prove how wrong it all had been. I'm afraid he's proved nothing at all so far, except his ability to soak up punishment and a lot of bravery to get through with cuts like this. Minter's almost talking to him. The blood is streaming down the left-hand side of Antuofermo's face again. Well, I've seen a few thousand fights over the years, but I don't mind admitting this is beginning to turn my stomach a bit. It's too much blood. It's ridiculously one-sided. Minter's won every round. Tearing the man's face to bits. It really is too bad. 7th round. I don't really know how much more Antuofermo has to take. Well, I am relieved about that. Antuofermo has been taken to his corner. And Dr. Whiteson of the British Boxing Board is looking at it. And it is not stopped, it's going on. Dr. Whiteson gave the signal for the fight to continue. Despite the fact that he has cuts on both sides of his face. And Minter's going to go on and punish him a bit more. The man is streaming blood yet again. Well, this really is savagery beyond all measure. And the bell has gone to end the 7th round. And Minter is an overwhelming winner. After 7 rounds, he hasn't lost a round. He's hardly landed any good punches on Minter. Extraordinary enough, we're in the 8th round. And I suppose you could count on the fingers of one hand the number of reasonably good punches that Antuofermo has landed. He's brawled a lot, he's wrestled a lot, he's barged in. Punches have gone around the back of Minter's waist, around his shoulders, around his neck. His eyebrow over the left eye looks like just one long cut to me. Once again, he trudges back to the corner, and once again, Howie Albert goes to work, pouring water over those damaged eyes. And they're calling the referee over this time, and this might be the end. They are calling it off. They can't continue, and that's not before time. So at the end...
I've never been able to understand how the decision to retire Antuofermo from that fight was left to the corner. and you would never have guessed that it was Minter's last great performance. In his next fight, he fought Marvin Hagler. He lost the world title. He never won another important fight. Well, I felt we couldn't close this program without a look at my young friend, Frank Bruno, who's played such an important part in my commentating life these past 10 years. We're going to look at Frank in his earlier days, long before he fought for the world title. It's November 1984. The scene is the Albert Hall. The victim is Jeff Jordan of America.
And Frank Bruno, tonight, for once, meeting a man considerably lighter than he is. Though he looks quite a bulky customer, Jeff Jordan, this white American, weighs only 14 stone 7 3/4, and he comes into the ring 22 1/4 pounds lighter than big Frank Bruno, who goes 16 stone 2. This is the second confidence booster fight for Bruno after the bone-crushing performance. James Bone Crusher Smith knocked him out in 10 rounds back in May and dented the 100% winning record of Big Frank. Jordan came to professional boxing late in life. He's 30 years old now, a couple of inches shorter than Bruno. Gone back to university to study medicine. 20 pro fights behind him, Jordan. 3 defeats. Not a bad record on paper, but when you look at the opponents, there aren't many of them that you've ever heard of. The big ramming left hand of Bruno getting to work. Two big ones to the head of Jordan, manages to take them. He's escaped from that ramrod of a left hand. Well, we've seen men fold up before this from those sort of right hands from Bruno, so Jordan at least is showing a little bit of durability in that first round. And it was walked, absolutely walked by Bruno. Jordan a little slow to come off the stool. You can see his problem here, giving away more than 1.5 stones and a couple of inches in height and a lot of reach. So he's got problems even in getting close to Bruno. And every time he tries to get in close, he's liable to walk onto something rather unpleasant. Bruno is a magnificent specimen, he really is. And certainly his chin's been shown to be vulnerable a couple of times. But he is a most impressive specimen of manhood, and he does put his weight behind his punching. And he's giving Jordan no respite. No, he threw him down. Another big right from Bruno. And again, Jordan takes it. Well, at least they found an opponent here who doesn't fold under the first big punch. He's having to take a few. So Jordan shows himself to be a man of strength. Possibly can punch himself a bit. He's had 11 inside the distance wins in his 20 fights.
Seconds out, round 3.
Again, Jordan a little slow to come off the stool. Bruno mixing punches quite well. We've seen some good jabs. Now the left hook's coming to work. We've seen a couple of good right crosses. Big frown of concentration
on Bruno's forehead. Again, the left hook. Swept past the defending right hand, as though it wasn't there. And Jordan has got very little to offer here, except courage, I'm afraid, being picked off unmercifully. And Jordan's showing, Bruno is showing surprising speed of punch here, moving fast and well. And now the American's got a bad cut above the left eye, and he's not going to be able to go very far with that, I can tell you. He's got a bad cut above the left eye, spurting blood. Round 3. I don't think Sid Nathan's really seen it yet, hasn't had a chance to get a good look at it. Quite a nasty cut, in a bad place. Nathan giving him every chance. He's seen the cut. You're having a closer look at it now, Sid. All one-way traffic. And Sid Nathan has now seen enough. And Jeff Jordan, quite rightly, is rescued from further punishment. Cut above the left eye and being punched from pillar to post around this Albert Hall ring. Never had a chance. Not one of Frank's most spectacular fights, but interesting because it shows him to be quite an accomplished boxer and not just the big slugger some people imagine him to be. I could put together quite a good video on Frank's knockouts. Come to think of it, I might just do that one of these days. But for the moment, goodbye.